Good evening, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I'm Maui Paul. Actually, it's nightfall with Maui Paul. Who am I kidding? It is the evening time. Of course, it is. It's dark outside. But, this is nightfall with Maui Paul. I am here today to go over one of my I am cards. So, if you were here this morning, you know that we pulled one of these I am cards and we went over an affirmation and it was really fun to go over that affirmation and affirm it about ourselves. And the one that we affirmed for ourselves this morning was I am brave. I am brave. I face adversity with maturity. And this morning I talked about how our day probably wouldn't go the way that we thought it would because it really never does. And and we just meditated on the fact that even though our day is likely not to going to go exactly the way that we think it is going to, that we're going to face that change with some maturity. So this morning we affirmed it in faith. We said these words. We said I am brave. We said it in faith, believing that it could happen. And so now let's say it again, but let's say it with conviction, knowing that it did. So, are you brave? You are brave. You faced adversity today with maturity. And I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down in the comments. And as I do, I am making it more real. I am making this sentiment, I am brave, more real. And I'm recognizing the ways that I was brave today because the thought did go through my mind a couple times. So I am brave. I faced adversity with maturity. There. Boom. So I wrote it down, and I encourage you to write it down as well. And I'd love to know about a way that you felt like you were brave today. I had definitely a couple of things that I felt helped me to, or that bravery assisted me with today. A couple of relationships that I was able to define more clearly as a result of me just not giving a shit about the way that my words would be interpreted by the other person, and recognizing that recognizing that I had to speak my truth no matter what. And so I was really excited about the fact that I was able to do that, and I felt like it was a brave thing to do to redefine a relationship, a very old relationship, with words that really were not kowtowing in any way to the other person's thought about how I should be or how the relationship should look, but rather was able to just speak my truth and to speak my truth with maturity and love and grace. So I am brave today, and I did brave things. So go me. I'm sure that you're brave today, that you did brave things as well, and I'd love to hear about it. This morning, Shauna was actually talking about the fact that she loves lighthouses, and we talked for a little bit about the lighthouse and why I chose the lighthouse as a symbol for bravery. Ultimately, a lighthouse itself doesn't go out to sea. A lighthouse a lighthouse exists as a safety mechanism. It's from the shore, but a lighthouse has to take a pretty brutal beating. And the fact is that even though it takes a really brutal beating, the light at the top of a lighthouse is so very what's the word that I'm looking for? It's so very easy to break. It's so very easy to break, easily damaged. And yet the light that it provides is something that just reaches out way out into the distance. And so it is with our bravery, that we have to house our light in a strong tower, in a strong tower of belief and conviction in order for it to really be able to shine out to others. And the fact is that a lighthouse is not brave for itself. It is brave. It is a protector for others. It's not. It exists as a beacon of hope, a beacon of light to remind us where the land is, and also to stay away from the treacherous rocks. So we do indeed face adversity every single day, and as we do, we get to decide how we face that adversity, what that's going to look like. So um, Shauna says her afternoon was absolutely modified and faced some of her shadows rather than escaping. Good job, Shauna. I know that you do exactly that, and I'm excited that you did. And Brenda Jean says, I'm brave enough to recognize I need to take a day off for rest and recuperation. Yes, Brenda Jean, you absolutely do. And I know that you had a not necessarily an obligation, but something that you usually do around 8 or 9 p.m. And yeah, I'm glad that you didn't. I'm glad that you said, hey, rest is important, recuperation is important. And even though somebody else might have an expectation of me, my health comes first. So go you, being brave enough to recognize that and doing it and deciding to do that. So yeah, so we were brave today, and that's a really cool thing. So I am really excited about continuing to go through these cards, particularly because I'm going to go through all 36 of them. There are 36 cards in this deck, and yeah, so it's going to take a little over a month to go through each and every one of them. But I'm very, very happy to be going through all 36 of these I am cards and coming up with really good reasons why we are and how we do embody the all of the all of the traits that we find therein. So go us. I will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. with an actual wake up call that I most likely will introduce properly. But I'll be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. with the wake up call with Maui Paul. Nicole says she was brave today too. I know you were. I know that you're going through a lot of transition, Nicole. So go you being brave. You keep winning at life. All right. But anyway, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. And until then, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for liking it and sharing it and just like expanding this message. You guys are doing an amazing job. And you're the reason why this message reaches about 200 people weekly. How cool is that? Um, but yeah, we'll be going through that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I am going to go watch the moon. The moon is huge and it's full, and some of my friends are hosting a Howling at the Moon party. And well, that just seems like an interesting party to be a part of. So I'm going to go enjoy some time at the Howling at the Moon party. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Again, have yourselves a wonderful day. I appreciate you being here. I love you just as you are. I care about you, and it always makes me happy to see you here live. So, aloha from paradise.